Hello and welcome to the Knitmancy podcast. I am your host Valentina, coming at you from West Virginia, as I have been. Yeah. So I have stuff, but first we're going to go over social medias, and then we'll go over stuff, and life will be good. Yes, so let's go over that. So you can find me on social media in various places under various names, Ravelry, and there's actually a Tumblr that are both Knittermancer, and there's also a group under the groups tab on Ravelry that's the Knitmancy podcast. And then on Instagram you can find me as Middle of the Madness. Cool. So I guess first thing I should say what I'm wearing. It has been insufferably cold here. Like we've not been hitting 50 degrees Fahrenheit. It's cold. So for the past couple of days, I've been wearing my Find Your Fade in some sort of variation like this. I don't end up like pulling it up over my head like a hood, although I could. And that increases warmth because I've been wearing hats. Both my Hinterlands and then this one. Can't think of the pattern right off. I've also been wearing my little like honeycomb mitts, which are right there on top of the hat made out of parchment. I won't go over everything, but yeah, it's the Find Your Fade by Andrea Mowry. So warm and squishy when it's far too cold outside. I think today we were 38. We weren't that far above freezing, and it's terribly cold. But anyway, we'll move on to the knitting content aside from my shawl. So I have a finished object. I've got something that's almost finished but not here with me. I've got my sweater right behind me that now has buttons. I'm not going to show it. You saw it pretty much done last time. And I've got some works in progress. So I finished my Weasley Patchwork Weasley socks. I always want to say Weasley Patchwork socks by Luedar. They are in Knit Picks Felici in the Beyond the Wall colorway, which is blues and grays. I have yet to wear them. I saved them just for the podcast to show off before I wear them. They should be nice considering it's so frosty outside. And next up, boop, boop, a new cast on. Since I finished socks, I needed something to take with me, so I've got my hand wound mess of a ball. This is not going to fix anything. I need to stop pulling my head. That is colorway Tokyo by Weasley on the 100% superwash merino fingering weight base. I know most of her bases are heavier weights, like a worsted or a DK. But I've got Tokyo on the fingering weight base. I guess it could be a sock base. I've not had good luck in the past with socks on just 100% superwash merino. Just does not work for my lifestyle. And in the middle of a row, as I always tend to be, I take it with me. So you get it kind of as I work on it. Is the Ricochet shawl by Corrine Ouillon. It's a French name, so always like the names will be down below in the description box. Yes, it's the Ricochet shawl by Corrine Ouillon in Weasley's Tokyo. Actually, can I just say that I love this weird weird patch of yellowy green pooling here in the middle. I wanted a shawl that would show off how cool this colorway is, while not, being just another Raina shawl. So I've knit 2 of them. Although I could argue 2 is never enough of the Raina shawl. It's just me though. Then my final work in progress that has had any progress might be a new cast on. I believe it is. I haven't chinned this one off because my Subterraneans cardigan went off the needles and then I immediately cast this on. Pretty much immediately cast this on. So I have again, middle of the row, realistic here, right? A 9 Maiden shawl, which is actually cabled. Not that you can tell. I can tell. I don't know why everything wants to make this, like, boost up the contrast in the colors of this shawl, or this yarn. It is in Once Upon a Corgi, in Blood of My Blood, on her ginger base. I have the tag with me because I know I forget details. Which is 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and 5% gold stellina, which means, why yes, it does sparkle. So can we get some sparkle? Nope, we can't get any sparkle, but you can vaguely see the cables. It's the 9 Maiden shawl, designed by Lucy Hague, who is one of my favorite designers. I love cables. And as I said, my Subterraneans is pretty much off the needles. I don't have it here with me at the second. That has entirely to do with the fact that I finished majority of the knitting on it. So the next step now is to block the pieces, seam them all up, and then do the button bands. So hoping to get it done by American Thanksgiving, which is on the 23rd, which means my next podcast anyway is going to be on the 24th. I should have it done by next podcast. It might be without buttons, but it'll be done. Yeah. So excited. Let's see, do I have anything else to talk to you about? I signed up for classes. In general, the semester here is coming to an end early December. Like the second week in December is the second full week in December is like it. So we're almost done here. Then I come back in the spring, have classes, bunch of classes. I can't quite think if there's anything else notable. Oops, me. Aside from when I do purl rows, of course I go. So I know I showed off a little bit on how I knit, but I was knitting in the round, so I mean you didn't get to see much. I don't do purl rows. I'd never flip my work to do purl rows. I'll flip it if I'm knitting like full on garter stitch, but for those who don't know, who are not familiar with Lucy Hague patterns, a lot of the backgrounds on the cable is garter stitch. Well, it's not depending on how you do it, it's not really kind of like your typical, knit every row. No, it's on wrong or right sides you're purling. So it's more of a purl garter stitch as opposed to a regular knit So instead of turning my work, because this row that I'm on is a purl row, I know how to mirror knit. So I knit off the right needle onto the left needle instead of off the left needle onto the right needle. My hands are in the way because I use my laptop to do this. I can't think of anything else aside from the fact that I desperately need to get more warm things here so I won't freeze for the last couple of weeks. Oh boy. And actually next Friday I'll be heading home. So my next podcast will be from home in my old setup. It's hard to say what's typical anymore. And I guess we should mention that because Halloween happened, Target had put these stupid animal mask things on deep discount, down from $30. And my buddy here, Fox mask, was $9. I do wear him. He's soft. But I figure he might as well be a pretty decent little buddy to hang out with, right? Okay, before I just completely devolve into rambling on about nothing, I think I will sign off, and I will talk to you again in 2 weeks. Not that far from now. And until then, take care, take time for yourself, and just keep knitting. All right, bye guys.